part of my role as the laureate is, obviously is to do with education and comics as literacy, and a big role within that is trying to encourage kids, adults, whatever, that might have reading problems, especially things like dyslexia. And that personally to me comes from a personal space, because my eldest son is dyslexic, and he was diagnosed quite at an early age, and the only things he's ever read willingly are comic books. He's not a comic fan per se, but certain subjects have piqued his interest, and he's always gravitated towards the comic book format rather than the text format. So what I've found over the course of the years, with my son and talking to other dyslexic people, and loads of people have come up to me, when I've been signing, and fans and stuff have all said the same thing. I've got a child who's dyslexic, and what you've said about your child's helped me and everything, but the text page can be very, very challenging to a person with reading difficulties, and the comic page is because of the way the words are broken up in pictures and everything, is a lot more accessible to somebody like that. It takes away a lot of that just ridiculous sea of text which they see, and is obviously part of the problem. So, I'd really want to encourage people to sort of look into comics, sort of parents to sort of think of comics if their child as well, or not necessarily child, adult, has sort of is not interested in reading, or has dyslexia or various other sort of reading difficulties, to sort of pick up comics, and all of a sudden they might be fully engaged and enthused finally to read. And I want to talk to librarians as well, because librarians and teachers are at the forefront of obviously literacy, and I'm trying to promote comics as literacy, and therefore librarians are very important to talk to get across to the general public just another way of reading, to encourage other people, other children, adults, whatever, into libraries. And if they're not interested in reading books or magazines, to pick up a comic book and bring them in that way. It'd be great to see. There's a quote from Jonathan Hennessy, unfortunately I don't have it with me, but he basically questions why comics are sort of frowned upon by, shall we say, certain intellectuals, because it's breaks up. You take away from the text, it's the combination of words and images, which is somehow belittled, and he cites he can't understand why, because it's not pure text or pure artwork, why the combination of both is sort of frowned upon by the by intellectuals or whatever, whereas you get the combination of music and dance in ballet or something like that. That's not frowned upon. So why is art and words looked upon as a lesser thing than text or a piece of artwork? Well, the French have always called it the ninth art. In France, they regard comic books as important as painting and sculpture. And I think that's a great attitude to have. Why should it be a lesser art form? I truly believe that comics is an art form. I don't think it's a craft. I don't think it's a skill. I think it's an art form, and done to a certain level, it is just as valid as painting and sculpture. So the French have got it right.